McCarthy is okay too, but never Calgary. That being said, I was doing my tour one day and somebody pointed out to me and they're like, so I get that you're not Calgary, but you call yourself Calgarians. And I'm like, yeah, we do. I have no idea. Yeah, we're not Calgary, but we are Calgarians. So weird little quirky things like that. Love hearing them. Questions, the same thing. I might not know the answer, but I'm pretty good at finding out. If not, it's usually something that I will start to wonder about later and find out for the next person who asks me. So questions, comments, love hearing them. Concerns also, please let me know and I will try my best to accommodate everybody. I think that's everything. If not, I will tell you in 5 minutes when I remember. But starting off, to kind of give you an idea about how Calgary came to be, all started back in 1875. At the time, Calgary was just grassland. There was pretty much nothing here. It's been very difficult to get to the area. Basically just dirt trails that would take a few weeks to get here. There was an illegal whiskey trade on the go. We had some whiskey traders from the south come up across the border. We're trading with our indigenous people. It wasn't quite whiskey though, more like an alcoholic concoction. That's a whole other story though. Nobody on my tour has heard of it. There were 6 of them. So I'm actually very impressed with all of you guys have heard about him. Give you a little bit of background of the Calgary Stampede. I'm sure you guys all know Pete's Western Festival, the Elders Lake Cowboys. Started on fire. There was a bit of a political scandal on the go in Calgary. We didn't know who our mayor was. There was people who said like, I voted for him, I voted for him, I voted for him. So we had 2 mayors and nobody could agree which was the real one. This caused some issues because our whole city council was shut down because of that, which was a problem here because they couldn't pay for anything or do anything. So our newly purchased but not paid for chemical engine was locked up in the Canadian Pacific Rail lots. So we had no way to put the fire out. There's just people panicking with buckets of water trying to get the fire out. I'm overstepping. We're stopping right here. Sorry, I should pay attention.
Sure.
No worries, no worries. We're gonna take a look here at the Molson's Bank. Have you guys heard of Molson's before? Some of you, maybe. It's one of our, yeah, exactly. It's one of the first brewery in Canada. So it's one of our biggest beer producers. I don't actually drink beer, so I can't tell you what it tastes like, but it's frequently described as like a can beer or a tin can beer. I know I'm not really selling it to you guys, but that's Molson's beer. So Molson beer started back in the 1700s. They were actually out in Montreal. What do you do when you have a very made for those of you who haven't, not a problem, tell you all about it. So Hudson Bay Company is a huge factor of why Canada is Canada. So they started back in the 1600s when there was not a whole lot in here, and they were in the fur trade. They were given all of the land known as Rupert's land from England, even though it was Canada, or like pre-Canada. England decided to give it to them. Rupert's land is all the areas where the rivers flow into the Hudson Bay. So if you think of Canada, we go a few provinces over like under Ontario, or above Ontario, that's that body of water. That's the Hudson Bay. Over here in Calgary, we are the highest city in Canada. We're 1,000 meters high. Banff is a little higher, we're not city, but as you can imagine, Stephen Avenue, I just think it's super pretty. So Dahl Block here was built in 1907. It was built by Louis Henry Dahl. They like to name their buildings after themselves. Again, it kind of gives them their reputation. Now, when this was built, Dahl was a jeweler in the area. Additionally, jewelers also did things like make glasses back in the 1900s, or pianos, just kind of anything really fine handiwork. He purchased this lot, built the building, and he put this really pretty glass in the middle. A lot of that's still original. And he had the idea of building Dahl's Diamond Palace. He thought the sun would shine right through that glass onto his diamonds, they would sparkle, and everybody would want to buy them. Calgary is the sunniest city in Canada. This is not. This is very bizarre. We have you here, and then you're not expected to go back to the office. Instead, you're showing your guests a good time, and that's how business is done. Just go ahead and wait. So, why do you think like that? If you do have the question, like you guys really learning and you're the right job. 3 days. Calgary doesn't have the nicest of winters. I heard more, so I don't think they're that bad. But I would say that the average cold day in Calgary is about -10. And pretty quickly we will see that. Sometimes down to -30 to -20, but not maybe not in high school winters. So it's not terrible, place to be, but it doesn't make me want to like throw fluxes of people and then leaving. So we have the infrastructure to have to host because of Stampede. Additionally, with Banff right next door, people like to throw conferences here because you can bribe your employees, like come do our fun training, and then you can go to Banff. So we have quite a few convention centers in the area. So yeah, anything like this where it says +15, they have some different branding in a few places, but if you see it, you're totally welcome to check it out. This one's a little bit quieter, but since it has connecting convention center to a museum, we have the hard Calgary sign. So if you guys are photo people with like a photo, I do double duty as photographer. If anybody is interested in grabbing a photo, if you're not photo people, also no pressure, but if you are. Anybody looking for photos?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, no worries.
I just want to. Oh, only me? Why?
Oh. Distances between places we often climb. We weigh what our height is feet in inches, weight is in pounds, but if you go to the grocery store, you're measuring in kilograms. We're all over the place. We only switched from into the metric system in the 80s, so it depends on what generation you're talking to. So I know I quilt, so I know feet in inches pretty well. But if you ask like a 15-year-old, they'll look like you're crazy. But then if you ask a 60-year-old about metric, they're confused. So we're all over the place here in Canada. So anyways, I have my cheat sheet to remember most numbers. So 810 feet. And they needed to have to do a renovation. So when the pandemic hit 2020, they just offered to close their doors and start that recall their exhibit and their building. It is a full-on gut, so nothing is going to be the same. Additionally, they're changing what they're focusing on. So moving away from the cool rocks and the Canadian heritage and going into fine art. So it's going to be interesting ones for this. Before I was a tour guide, I was in museums. This one's French, I'm on the inside. They say that this was last year, they're saying 2026 or this year, but at French last year, they're like, there's no way. There's no way. So it's been updated to 2027. We'll see. But one thing we're quite excited for is in Canada, it is going to be the first museum that is going to be free forever for everybody. But if you've been to UK, their museums are free, so when I tell this, they're like, it's more not the shocking, it's shocking in a negative way. They're like, you pay for museums here? Yeah, we except for the time though, once it finally opens. So they got this really generous sponsorship of like $50 million for the shop now. They're telecommunications in Calgary, and then they're using that for admissions. Our comments, right behind us here, we have Olympic Plaza. So when we hosted the 1980 Winter Olympics, this is where we held our medal ceremonies. If you're looking at that and you're wondering, how did you hold medal ceremonies there? It doesn't look very big. It was not, I can assure you. It looks even bigger now that the guards have won up. Calgary is one of the only cities to not go into long-standing debt by hosting the Olympics. So it kind of makes sense why we have like modest Olympic structures. Additionally, we did a lot of double duty. So just before the Olympics started, we acquired the Atlanta Flames and they became the Calgary Flames, our NHL team. They built a new arena, so we built the arena for the Olympics, but then also for, it's one of those days, they're gonna have a protest. Okay. Inside, so I don't have to yell over this.
How many kids did you kill today?
when she was 15 was to be an elevator attendant at the hospital, and she said it was actually really difficult because it wasn't just finding. From after I learned about the back and front getting it the right level, I thought it was like one of those games where like if you hit the button at the right time, you win a prize. But she said it's not like that because it would weigh different amounts with different people in or different things in it. So you would. This is right there that they built after the 80s. So they took two buildings on the outside.
Manually.
Oh, this is confusing.
One artist per case with their explanation.
Yeah.
This one's an LGBT group. It looks like they're still doing some installations, but do have their little panels right beside. It has been a little bit of everything. Last year was about 2 I've seen with Indigenous people. The one that they did, which has become quite infamous, is an artist put a wedding cake in one of them, like a full-on wedding cake, and just left it, and it started to decay. There's comments on my fridge. But yeah, right. So it is a little bit of everything. We're quiet. You might hear something. So this is it's not broken. This is a auditory exhibit within the Trust Teens. It's called the Soundscape. Yeah, you can hear it. Yeah. It does sound like a broken speaker to me. This one is called Santa Claus or Christmas Parade because we have a Stampede Parade. We don't need any snow. Stampede, it really has influenced the city. There are some people that it is straight up a part of their identity. I do love it, but yeah. Have you been, I imagine? Or you lived here? Oh, nice. Do you do everything or do you do a specific thing with them or what do you do?
Every year, 2 times, one for Thursday and the other one for the
Oh, the grandstand? That is, yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. There's always something for somebody at Stampede, whether, yeah, I like the animals and the food.
yeah.
Rodeo, I can do that. And what is in that direction? So we're going east, and that is towards the original Fort Calgary, so that's what you're seeing here. When you're going south, you will see train tracks. North, you'll see the river, and then west will be mountains. So I'll seem to tell you what direction we're going in. This next section, nothing too much of it, but it's a very happy plus 15. It's just very rainbow and pretty.
Wow.
And the first time that we can see the train track, the train still does run through downtown Calgary every day, a few times a day, in the night. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm from Saskatchewan, so it's just like, reminds me of my homeland, that there are people in those apartments that are like, you really have to honk the horn or pull the horn at 2 in the morning. Of course you do, right? So, we either love or hate, a little bit of both.
Macquarie Trail.
My friend did a walking party. Different it looks and a little bit tricky to see here. Again, I'm going to point it on a few different places, but you can start to see how it has like a little twist in it. I haven't done it yet. I really should look up the floor plans because this is an interesting building to take a look at. But it's pricey too. Really? Too high?
Calgary.
Yeah, just like the 1908 skyscraper. Wait, I just tell you right now. So here we are, City Hall. So our original was a wood structure mod, as you can just before. They built this guy, finished up in 1911. Calgary had some money, but I'm like, it doesn't look that bad. The architectural thought behind it was that this like step-up pattern is to show that Calgary is an up-and-coming city. They also made it all glass so that the glass will reflect old city floors, so you can see old within the new. Maybe a bit of stretch, but I don't know. It looks like a 1980s building to me too. This guy kind of did double duty when it was being built in the 80s. So as Calgary was developing over on this side, Stephen Avenue, that's where the absolutely stunning. Another thing that they put into the design of the building is this top here is supposed to look like a candle flame. Shout out to Wendy for being by candle. Hard to see from here because of the emergency gap. You can really see that design and how it has everyone. We're going to take a little break here. Okay, so we'll take about 15 minutes or so. We'll meet back here. 360-degree view of Calgary. Lovely for taking. I found a few things out, or if you don't want to just take photos, feel free to do so. The train line is what defines distinct by neighborhood. So on this side will be downtown. South the train line is Bell Line. We're never judging you for saying Calgary. We know you're just not from here. But the one thing people do get. May comment.
Ayan, ganda talaga Leon.
Oh, yung Leo. So it's also here. But formerly non-settled. Additionally, it's not a dome. But other thing with the saddle dome, it is in its final years right now. So at the tip of the things, there are still seats up there. Terrible view because you're being impeded by that event. The acoustics absolutely suck. The art probably that. Our train is not expensive, nor is our public transit. We are a oil and gas town, and they like to use it that way. So we very much need a car. But one of the nice things about our transit is our train system. The train don't want to climb it. They're more climb in front. On top of that, security is out here like that. Though famously, Steve-O, if you guys remember Steve-O from Jackass, he came to Calgary. He got halfway up, and that was one of the most famous things he did in Calgary, but security was not happy whatsoever. So they don't like anybody climbing it, which I guess does make sense. It's a little bit of a hazard. Also a really good view of the bow. It doesn't look that tall until you get here. You're like, oh yeah, that is a giant office tower. Oh my goodness, see that curve? Yeah, right. And they wanted it to be 20% higher to 1,000 feet, which is just wild. Chinatown, if you're looking for some good food, Chinatown does have some pretty tasty things. They also have the Chinese Cultural Center, which is free to go if you're looking to learn a little bit more. Museums and also the structure of this